My ex-husband thinks I don't know he cheated. I know every name, every hotel, every lie. What he doesn't realize is that I've already used his secrets to build my escape, one he won't see coming until the locks change. What's up, Reddit? Never thought I'd be the guy typing out one of these stories, but after sitting on it for a long time, I figured, yeah, this one needs to be told. So, here it goes. I'm a 35-year-old guy who spent most of his life working construction. Not the fancy, project manager type, nope. I'm the guy out there in the sun, calloused hands, steel-toe boots, covered in dust by noon. I build things that stand tall on their own. It's honest work. Solid. You'd be surprised how many people admire that until they start craving something shinier. Anyway, I was married. 3 years. Her name's Jennifer, she's 30, works in PR or marketing, or whatever that field's calling itself this week. She spends half her life in meetings about brand vibes and engagement strategies. Meanwhile, I'm out here pouring concrete. I used to tease her, saying, you get paid to write emails with emojis while I get paid to sweat. She'd roll her eyes, laugh, and life would move on. And honestly, things were fine. Comfortable, even. We had our routines, dinners at home, errands on weekends, Netflix nights. Nothing crazy, but it worked. We weren't fighting. We weren't drifting apart. Which is exactly why what came next felt like a sucker punch I never saw coming. Jennifer went on a girls' trip to Dallas, shopping, spa days, cocktails, the usual. Her best friend Evelyn was there too. Evelyn's actually cool, laid back, funny, doesn't take herself too seriously. A rare gem in a friend group that acts like they're auditioning for Real Housewives, midlife crisis edition. But when Jennifer came back from that trip, something was off. She wasn't just tired, she was distant. Zoned out mid-conversation, glued to her phone, smiling like whoever was texting her was telling the world's best jokes. I figured she just needed a few days to decompress. Turns out, I was way too generous. Then came Tuesday night, the night that changed everything. Looking back, the signs started before the trip. She'd been hanging out a lot with this friend, Brittany. Loud, opinionated, and addicted to empowerment quotes. Brittany's the kind of woman who calls herself spiritually evolved but can't maintain a relationship longer than a Netflix trial. She'd been feeding Jennifer all this nonsense about freedom and keeping your options open. Basically, TED Talks for people who want to justify chaos. After a few months of those deep dinners, Jennifer's mood started swinging, too happy one day, irritated the next. I thought she was just restless. Nope, she was being influenced. So there we are, Tuesday night. I'm in the kitchen cooking eggs, same as always. She's just standing there, quiet, staring like she's about to say something world-changing. And then she drops it. Completely calm, like she's talking about trying oat milk instead of regular. I think we should try an open relationship. I actually laughed. Thought she was joking. She wasn't. She repeated it, still all calm and collected. It's not a big deal. A lot of couples do that. Like it was some new life hack she found on Pinterest, 10 easy ways to ruin your marriage in a weekend. I froze. My wife, the same woman who once said, if you ever cheat, I'll leave you without blinking, was now pitching pre-approved infidelity like it was a wellness trend. I leaned back against the counter. Where's this coming from? She gave me that vague, detached shrug. I've been reading a lot about it. Brittany's in one. She says it changed her life. Ah, of course. Brittany. The human grenade. I didn't even answer. I just went back to flipping my eggs. She kept talking, something about personal growth and learning more about ourselves. Basically, word salad sprinkled with faux wisdom she probably found under an influencer's Instagram post. And as she spoke, I realized something painful. It wasn't that she wanted to explore. It was that she'd already decided, without me. This was a performance. A prelude to whatever she'd already set in motion. I didn't yell. Didn't argue. Just slid her a plate of eggs and said nothing. Because at that moment, it hit me, the woman across from me wasn't my wife anymore. She was a stranger rehearsing a script someone else had written for her. But I wasn't born yesterday. I knew she already had someone lined up. You don't research open relationships overnight. Brittany didn't inspire her, she just gave her permission. So the next day, I did something unexpected. I said, sure. Let's try it. You should have seen her face. She lit up like I'd just told her she'd won a year's supply of designer handbags. Really? You're open to it? I nodded. If it makes you happy. That night she was bouncing around the house, giddy, euphoric, like a teenager who just got ungrounded. And I stayed calm. Because I knew something she didn't. When people get too comfortable, they reveal everything. Over the next week, she started leaving the house more often. New clothes, new perfume, coffee with friends every other night. Her phone became an extra limb. I didn't question her. Didn't get angry. I just watched. Waited. Because if she wanted an open marriage, fine. Let her open it. And watch what crawls in. And that's when things really started falling into place. So, a few weeks after the whole open marriage bomb dropped, my phone buzzes. It's my sister, Nora. She's 2 years younger than me, and the kind of woman who's brutally honest in the most refreshing way. If my haircut looks like a lawnmower malfunction, she'll say it before I even take off my hat. If my car smells like a gym locker, she won't step inside until I fix it. That's just Nora, no filter, no fluff. She texts me, can we talk? It's about Jennifer. Immediately, my stomach sinks. I tell her, yeah, come over. I'm expecting maybe some vague sisterly concern, maybe a you deserve better pep talk. Nope. She walks in like a storm. Doesn't waste time. Drops her purse, looks me straight in the eye, and says, Leo, I know you think you're handling this open relationship thing like a champ, but Jennifer is already cheating on you. That hit me like a steel beam to the chest. I just stare at her. How do you know? Without a word, she whips out her phone and shows me a screenshot. It's a group chat between her and a girl who used to hang out with Jennifer's friend group. In those texts, Jennifer bragged about meeting someone during her girls' trip, a guy with potential, as she put it. Turns out she'd been talking to some rich CEO type even before that weekend. A real executive, fancy car, luxury trips, glasses that probably cost more than my entire toolbox. And one of Jennifer's messages actually said, "If I play this right, I'll never have to worry about money again." Let that sink in. She wasn't talking about a soulmate. She was talking about a retirement plan with abs. I didn't even feel angry at first. Just cold. Numb. Like the part of me that used to get angry about things had burned out. Nora looked at me, her tone softer now. I wasn't going to say anything, but watching you let her walk all over you made me sick. I nodded. I didn't say much, but I meant it when I told her, thanks. I just asked her not to tell anyone else, not yet. Because at that point, I wasn't looking to react. I was looking to observe. When people show you who they are, the smartest move is to let them keep talking. Keep performing. Because every lie they tell becomes part of your proof later. That's when it clicked, the open marriage suggestion wasn't about growth or exploration. It was strategy. She wanted guilt-free access to her CEO fling. A built-in excuse to do what she'd already been doing. And me? I was supposed to just nod along. Play the patient husband. Maybe find some distraction on the side while she lived her fantasy. Yeah, no. That's when my mindset shifted. And funny enough, the person who started showing up in my thoughts was Evelyn, Jennifer's best friend. Now, before you get the wrong idea, nothing inappropriate happened back then. Evelyn's not that kind of woman. She's sharp, confident, and actually decent. While the rest of Jennifer's friends chased drama, Evelyn stayed grounded. When Jennifer and I argued, Evelyn never gossiped, never took sides, just stayed respectful. But after the whole open marriage mess, I started replaying old memories. The way she smiled when she saw me fixing the porch railing last year. How she lingered to help clean up after Jennifer's birthday dinner when everyone else was busy snapping selfies. She noticed the details. And that meant something. Then, one evening, she texted me. Just one line. "Hey, how are you holding up?" I typed back, still breathing. Her reply came almost instantly. "You don't deserve to be treated like this, Leo. I've seen what's going on. You deserve better." Man, that hit different. No sugarcoating. No pity. Just truth. The kind of truth that wakes you up. From that moment, my mindset shifted. I wasn't just the guy trying to stay calm. I was the guy making plans. Not out of spite, but because I refused to let Jennifer destroy everything I'd built while she auditioned for her next upgrade. Evelyn came by one afternoon to pick up a jacket she'd left behind. I asked if she wanted a coffee. She said yes. We talked for 20 minutes, about work, about Jennifer's chaos, about life. She laughed and said, "Jennifer creates drama, then gets mad when she has to live in it." I chuckled. Yeah, welcome to my world. After that, things felt natural. Evelyn started dropping by more often. Sometimes to return something, sometimes to chat while I worked on my truck. She'd hand me tools, hold a flashlight, actually listen when I explained what I was fixing. Most people tune out when I talk about carburetors, not her. Of course, Jennifer started noticing. One night, right before bed, she says casually, "You've been spending a lot of time with Evelyn lately." The next morning, as I laced my boots for work, I just looked at her and said, "Why does that bother you?" She tried to play it off. "No, I'm just saying." I smiled. Good. 'Cause I wasn't asking. From that point on, she turned into a full-blown detective. Asking who texted me, whether Evelyn had stopped by again, what we talked about. I played dumb. Told her Evelyn borrowed my drill once, which was true. Still not sure if Evelyn actually needed it or was just poking the bear, but either way, mission accomplished. Then suddenly, the CEO guy was gone. Jennifer said he'd gotten too intense and she needed space. Yeah, sure. Translation, he ghosted her. And just like that, she tried to slide back into being the loving wife. Cooking dinners again, calling me babe, pretending the past few months didn't happen. One night, I come home and there's a candlelit dinner waiting. I ask, "Is it someone's birthday?" She smiles. "No, I just thought we could spend some time together. Like old times." Old times. Right. Before she tried to sell off our marriage for a dude whose cologne probably costs more than my monthly mortgage. So I sit down, take a bite, and say casually, "Evelyn mentioned you make a great mushroom risotto." Boom. Instant freeze. Her face twitched like a Wi-Fi connection just dropped. "You talked to Evelyn about this?" "Yeah," I said, "she mentioned she used to help you with this recipe." Her smile looked so forced I thought her cheekbones might crack. After that dinner, she started spiraling. Following me around the house, peeking over my shoulder, asking if Evelyn had said anything about her. I told her, "You should stop creeping around the kitchen like you're auditioning for a thriller." That didn't land well. But what came next? Oh, that was gold. One weekend, I invited Evelyn over to help me fix the back fence. Jennifer was reading on the couch, the same book that's been a decoration for 2 years. Evelyn and I were outside, working and joking. She teased me for measuring twice and still cutting wrong. I fired back that her tiny hands were useless for power tools. We both laughed, really laughed. And then I looked up. Jennifer was standing at the window, completely still, watching us. Like a ghost in a horror movie. I waved. She ducked. Later that night, she started in with the tears. I just feel like you're pushing me away. I looked at her and said, you literally asked me to let you date someone else. I'm not pushing you away, I'm giving you the runway you wanted. She snapped. You never wanted this. You said yes just to trap me. I shrugged. No. I said yes to see how fast you'd crawl to someone else. Turns out, faster than Amazon Prime. She stormed off. The next morning, Evelyn texted me. She called me. Said she wants to talk. She's losing it. I replied, good. Let her. She asked for openness, now she gets to find out what locked doors feel like. Jennifer thought she was in control. She thought I'd just sit there, too loyal, too passive, too predictable to act. She had no idea I'd already started rebuilding, not my marriage, but myself. And with Evelyn by my side? Yeah, things were starting to change. Not rushed. Not forced. Just right. So, a few nights later, I decided to invite Evelyn over for dinner, not at some fancy restaurant, but at my place. She showed up holding a casserole dish that smelled like heaven itself. Homemade lasagna. Golden brown on top, cheese bubbling around the edges, and that perfect crisp layer that makes you want to inhale the whole thing before it even cools. And Evelyn? She wasn't exaggerating when she said she could cook. That woman could make frozen pizza taste like fine dining. We sat at the kitchen table, plates full, wine glasses half empty, laughing about the stupidest things, bad dating stories, terrible movies, little everyday annoyances. Nothing forced. Nothing fake. Just two people who'd been through enough chaos to finally appreciate peace. And in the middle of all that laughter, I looked at her, really looked at her, and said quietly, I don't want to play games anymore. She paused, set down her fork, and stared at me with this look that said she'd been waiting for that moment all along. Neither do I, she said. For a second, the whole room went still. It felt like time slowed down. No background noise, no tension, just that perfect, calm silence where everything clicks. Then she smiled, that soft kind of smile that says I'm done pretending. I should probably tell you something, she said. I raised an eyebrow. What's that? She hesitated, then finally admitted. I've always liked you, Leo. Even back when you and Jennifer first got together. I never said anything because you were taken, and I don't mess with taken. But I saw the way you treated her, how loyal you were, how you built things, not just with your hands, but with your heart. And I always wondered what it would feel like if someone like you chose me. I didn't say anything right away. Not because I was shocked, but because it felt real. Like the first honest thing I'd heard in months. Finally, I looked at her and said, well, I'm choosing you now. No more guessing. She grinned, eyes shining. So, we're doing this? I nodded. Yeah, we're doing this. And that was it. No drama, no hidden rules, no emotional gymnastics. Just two grown adults sitting at a kitchen table, sharing real food and real feelings. For the first time in a long time, I felt peace. The next day, I came home from work, still in my dusty boots, hands rough from a long day, and found Jennifer sitting on the couch, scrolling through her phone like she was auditioning for Desperate Housewives, Rejected Edition. Evelyn was supposed to come by in about 15 minutes, and I thought, you know what? I'm done sneaking around this circus. So I sat down, calm as could be, and said, Jennifer, just wanted to give you a heads up. Evelyn and I are together now. We're official. She froze mid-scroll. Slowly looked up. You're kidding. Nope. With Evelyn? My best friend? I nodded. Well, you gave up exclusivity, remember? I'm just following the rules you made. She jumped to her feet so fast the couch probably needed therapy afterward. You're disgusting. I can't believe you do this to me, with her. What kind of man does that? I leaned back and said, cool as stone. The kind of man who gave his wife every chance to be honest. Who stood by her while she ran around with a CEO like our marriage was just her backup plan. You didn't just leave the door open, Jennifer, you kicked it off the hinges. That set her off. She started pacing, shouting, throwing every insult she could come up with. Called Evelyn fake, called me a traitor, said we'd been plotting behind her back. Then, when that didn't work, she switched tactics, her voice soft, trembling, the pity play. I've been thinking. I don't want an open relationship anymore. I want things to go back to how they were. Like it was that easy. Like she could just hit undo on the chaos she caused. I stared at her for a long moment, letting the silence drag out until it felt heavy. Then I said, yeah, I've been thinking too. And I want you to start packing. You ever see someone blink so fast it looks like their brain's buffering? That was her. Completely caught off guard. You're not serious, she whispered. Oh, I'm dead serious. Expect your divorce papers soon. She took a step back like she'd been slapped. You're divorcing me? I stood up, voice calm but sharp. No, Jennifer. I'm divorcing the version of you that forgot what commitment meant. The version that thought love was something you upgrade from when someone flashier shows up. The version that tossed loyalty in the trash because she got bored. She opened her mouth to argue, but I wasn't done. You wanted freedom, remember? Well, congratulations, you're free. Free from me, free from this house, free from pretending you didn't know exactly what you were doing. She just stood there, arms crossed, cycling through every emotion, anger, confusion, regret, like she was trying to find the one that would still work on me. Finally, she whispered, can't we at least talk about this? I leaned forward slightly. My voice was calm, not cold, just final. We did talk about it, Jennifer. The day you decided to turn our marriage into a community project. You made your choice then. I'm just agreeing with it now. Then I stood up, walked past her without another word, and said over my shoulder, start packing before I get back. And don't try the sympathy angle, you left that behind with your dignity when you picked a CEO over your husband. She was shaking. Angry. Ashamed. Everything at once. Then she stormed out, slammed the door, and that was that. When I came back later, she was gone. A few minutes after that, Evelyn arrived. I told her everything, what Jennifer said, how she reacted. Evelyn didn't flinch. She just nodded and said quietly, she was never going to handle this well. She's not used to losing. We sat out on the back porch, eating leftover lasagna straight from the dish with forks. Classy? Maybe not. Satisfying? Absolutely. Jennifer made her choices. Now she had to live with them. And me? For the first time in years? I felt free. The next morning, the circus officially started. 12 missed calls before 8 a.m. 2 voicemails that started with, "Can we talk?" and ended with, "You're a snake." Then came the text storm, walls of guilt tripping and rage all mixed together. "You're throwing everything away. You'll regret this. Evelyn was never your friend, she used you." I didn't respond. Not because I didn't have words, oh, I had plenty, but because silence? Silence drives narcissists insane. While she was melting down over text, I was sitting in my lawyer's office, sipping coffee while he flipped through my file. And that's when he looked up, smiled, and said the most beautiful words I'd heard all year. She doesn't get a dime. Not one damn dime. To all the men out there, if you ever take one piece of advice from this story, get a prenup. Not because you expect things to go wrong, but because sometimes the person you marry starts treating your vows like they came with a trial period. As for me, I walked out of that office lighter than air. My marriage was over. My peace was back. And for once, I was finally with someone who chose me, not my potential, not my paycheck, not my patience, just me. And that, Reddit, is the kind of freedom worth keeping. When I walked into my lawyer's office that morning, I already knew the end was near, I just didn't realize how satisfying it would feel. He flipped through the folder on his desk, glancing up at me with this little grin. "You kept the original signatures?" I nodded. "Hard copy and scanned. Plus one locked in a safety deposit box." He chuckled, leaning back in his chair. "You, my friend, are officially my favorite client." The prenuptial agreement was straightforward, no fluff, no loopholes. Sure, there was no infidelity clause, but everything that mattered to me was protected: the money I'd earned before marriage, the property I'd bought on my own, my truck, my tools, the business I'd built from the ground up. He read a few lines out loud, probably just to twist the knife a little for effect. "All income from premarital business entities shall remain separate and immune to division in the event of divorce." He glanced up again. "That includes your shop and both rental properties." I nodded. "Everything, even the lawnmowers." He laughed so hard he nearly dropped his pen. Man came prepared with receipts and weed whackers. Jennifer, on the other hand, was entitled to nothing. Whatever was in her personal account and whatever she left with. No spousal support. No half of anything. Not even the dog, though to be fair, she didn't want him anyway. She used to say he was too clingy. Imagine calling loyalty a flaw, fitting, really. My lawyer slid the papers across the desk. "All that's left is your signature. Once you sign, I'll have it couriered over to her." And that's exactly what I did. I signed my name, closed that chapter, and handed it off to be delivered. Jennifer had moved into some fancy high-rise apartment after she left, acting like she was the star of her own New Beginnings montage. When she got served the papers, she texted me almost instantly. "Are you serious?" I replied with one line. "Dead serious. You open the door, I'm just closing it behind you." She fired back, "I didn't even know what was in the prenup." I simply wrote, "Not my fault." That was the last time she messaged me directly. But she wasn't done. Oh no, Jennifer doesn't know when to quit. A few days later, Evelyn told me she'd had a surprise visitor. Apparently, Jennifer showed up at her apartment uninvited, pounding on the door like she was collecting a debt. No text, no warning, just rage, perfume, and high heels clacking down the hallway. Evelyn opened the door calm as ever, like she was expecting a package, not a meltdown. Right on cue, Jennifer launched into her monologue. "You betrayed me. How could you do this to me?" Evelyn didn't flinch. She just stood there, one hand on the doorframe, cool as a breeze. Then she said, "You destroyed your own marriage, Jennifer. I just decided I wasn't going to clean up the mess for you. You gave up the job, and now you're mad someone else applied." Jennifer froze, waiting for an apology that never came. Evelyn looked her dead in the eye and said, "If this is what you came here for, you can leave the same way you came in, alone." Then she shut the door. Just like that. While Jennifer was out staging her solo pity parade, I was wrapping up the last loose ends. I transferred every shared account, every subscription, every leftover connection into my name. Changed all the passwords. Wiped her access clean. I even did a full reset on the house. Took down the old photos, boxed up the wedding decor she refused to take, tossed the expensive skincare she left behind. I didn't just clean my home, I cleared my mind. When I was done, there was nothing left of her here but the faint smell of bad decisions and expensive perfume. Evelyn asked me one night if I felt bad. I shook my head. No. I feel like I walked out of a burning building and found someone standing there holding water. The divorce went through officially a few weeks later. The moment my lawyer called to confirm, I just stood there in my kitchen, boots still dusty from work, and smiled. No anger. No sadness. Just relief. For the first time in years, my life was mine again. But, of course, Jennifer wasn't done. It was my sister Nora's birthday, a small backyard barbecue, just family and a few close friends. Nora brought her famous potato salad, Evelyn helped me with the decorations, my cousin Jason was already 3 burgers deep. Laughter, smoke from the grill, good music. It was perfect. Until someone yelled from inside the house. Leo, someone's at the front gate. I turned, and there she was. Jennifer. Standing at the edge of the yard like she'd just returned from exile. Designer sunglasses, high heels sinking into the grass, and, I kid you not, holding a gift bag. A gift bag. Probably full of guilt and denial. The whole yard went silent. Even the dog stopped barking. I walked over slowly, calm, collected. Jennifer, I said, you're not invited. She gave this awkward little laugh. I just wanted to say hi. Maybe talk. Not the time. Not the place. And definitely not the guest list. She slipped off her sunglasses, voice trembling. I've been thinking a lot. I just want to give our marriage another chance. I made a mistake. I nodded. Yeah, we all saw that one coming. She kept going, I didn't realize what I had until it was gone. And seeing you with Evelyn. Is not your business anymore, I interrupted. Her face fell. People were watching. Nora stood there with her arms crossed, stone-faced. Jennifer looked around like she'd suddenly realized she wasn't the main character anymore. She asked quietly, can we at least talk in private? I shook my head. Nope. Whatever you came here to say, save it. You had months. You had chances. You picked someone else. Now you're here because he dumped you, and I didn't. Silence. Then she raised her voice, desperate. So, what? You're just replacing me? Like it's that easy? I leaned forward just enough for everyone to hear. You replaced yourself the second you gave me permission to stop being your priority. She tried one last bluff, this isn't over. You can't erase everything we had. I laughed. You erased it, Jennifer. I just swept up the pieces, and handed you the broom. Before she could respond, Evelyn walked up beside me, calm as ever. She didn't even raise her voice. You were his past. I'm his present and future. So you can leave now. Jennifer looked around, hoping someone might defend her. No one did. She turned and walked out, same way she came in, gift bag still in hand. A minute later, the music started back up. Nora handed me another burger and grinned. Happy birthday to me. Evelyn and I sat down together, watching the smoke drift over the fence. She smiled and said, that felt good. I nodded. Better than winning the lottery. And that's it. Jennifer wanted options. She took them. Then she learned the hard way that love doesn't come with a backup generator. She thought I'd wait around, broken and loyal. She was wrong. I didn't just survive it, I rebuilt from it. If you're listening to this and wondering whether to give someone like that another chance, don't. Let them go. Let them become someone else's chaos. You've got better things ahead, peace, real peace. And for the record, Evelyn still makes the best lasagna I've ever tasted. Thanks for sticking around till the end. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell, because trust me, the next story is just as wild.